It's probably not a good example, but like last week, someone wrote a physical letter to our president upset about a support experience that they'd had with Visual Studio. So like that's a very significant power dynamic. And it was an older person who wrote a physical letter with like, typewriter. But it was a great letter because it had a lot of information, a lot of bugs. Like they had the time. So it was like 2 pages of ranting, and then a page of like, here are some things you could do to make it better. And then things rolled downhill. So our president eventually gave it to me. There was like a whole team that was getting spun up to like figure out how to reply to this letter. And I was just like, why don't we just call him? Like his number's right there. So like, that's not the typical Microsoft way. It's not. And of course, no one believes when you call and say, I'm calling from Microsoft. Like they thought I was a scammer for a while. So they had to like go online and call me back. But it solved the problem in like 45 minutes, and we didn't have to spin up a whole team. And I think I got a little bit of like, maybe don't do that again. But I plan on doing it again. Well, it depends on the nature of the thing that they're being shielded from. And the way I would answer that is by using my boss shielding me as an example. So like, I might say something on social media that is low-key controversial, but still right. And then I will give my boss a heads up, and I'll just say, incoming, and then I'll give him a link. And then he's like, got it. And what that means is whatever random person from inside the company has an opinion about that and emails my boss to get me in trouble, back me up. And then he prevents me from like doing stuff. So that's one way that I'm proactively getting him to use that. But at the same time, when he has assigned me something and I'm off and doing something or solving a problem, he knows that I'm running, and I need to not stumble or trip or think about my feet. So he is proactively preventing people from questioning what I'm doing or bothering me. That's not necessarily shielding me from conflicts that are valuable. It's shielding me from like general nonsense, paperwork, legal stuff. Like, his job is to get things out of the way. So in football, I don't know how it works in rugby, but in football, it's like blocking and tackling. I try to wake up multiple times a week. And by wake up, I mean like, okay, what am I doing? I'm just sitting here doing email. Or what am I doing? This is not important work to be working on. So it's funny. I play video games at night to deal with the stress, and I'm playing this game called Assassin's Creed, where you basically just run around ancient Japan and kill people, but they're all bad people. And it ends up being a to-do list. So you have to prioritize who's the baddest person that you're going to go and, kill, and like who's the baddest warlord or whatever. And I realized that I spend my whole day at work managing to-do lists, and then the way that I de-stress is managing to-do lists in a video game. So like life is just constant reevaluation, waking up and going, okay, who's the most important person right now? What's the most important thing? And saying no. And the more senior you get, the more you're able to say, no, I'll let that guy get away. He wasn't hurting anybody. So even in the game, you can let people go and say, I trust you to redeem yourself, and go say 3 Hail Marys and you live today. Same thing happens at work. I mentioned it a little bit in the previous answer, but I think it's this idea of waking up. Like the example that I give is when you're driving and you lose a block, you're like, well, I just drove 3 blocks. Like you haven't fallen asleep, you zoned out. People zone out, not for days, but for weeks. And you know how you feel like, oh my gosh, it's freaking the middle of April right now? Like, how did that happen? Systems thinking versus just solving the problem in front of you is when you're asleep, it's really easy to put blinders on and just drive down the street and focus, and you lose time. Really good architects are waking up multiple times a week and going, all right, let's just reassert. What is it we're doing here? What are we currently working on? All right, I get it now. I see where we fit into the larger system. And it's really easy to get right back down and focus on this little thing in front of you. You have to consciously wake up. All right, where are we driving to? Where's the map? Are we on time? Do we have enough gas? All the stuff that you don't think about when you're just staring at the road in front of you. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, wow, I don't actually do that, maybe I need to, that's the moment where you go and buy a book on architecture, where you think about where your chunk of code fits into the larger system. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not a goofball and I'm not trying to be a goofball, but like, I think it's a gentle pushback against just the exhausting capitalism of it all. Like, why would you be so formal all day long? Like, you know how when we think about inclusion, coincidence that I'm wearing my inclusion shirt today. I got a little schmutz on me there. When we think about inclusion, it's meaning actively not excluding people. And we want people to show up at work and be their full selves and not have to code switch. But I watch a different kind of code switching, which is people turning into like business folks. And then I wonder, do they go home and have dinner with their families and they're also business people? Tell me about your homework, young man. Like that just seems crazy. Like, that's no way to live. So I'm not trying to be an active goofball. I'm just trying to, like, can I just be the same guy all the time?